Over 70% of engine failures don't happen on the road. They start right under the hood from simple cleaning mistakes most drivers don't even realize they're making. One wrong move can crack metal, fry electronics, or kill a $1,200 alternator overnight. So before you grab a hose and blast your engine bay, watch this. And stick with me until the end, because the bonus tip will change the way you clean forever. Mistake number 17. Starting with a hot engine. This one destroys more engines than people think. You get home, pop the hood, and the moment that cold water hits hot aluminum, the metal contracts instantly. That shock can warp a cylinder head or crack an exhaust manifold without you seeing it. And you won't know until weeks later when your engine starts idling strange or losing compression. Even worse, heat actually pulls moisture into sensitive electronics. Spray a hot alternator or fuse box, and that steam forces water deeper than it would have gone on a cold engine. The result? Shorts, blown fuses, or a no start the next morning. Degreasers are no better. Instead of melting grime, they bake into the surface and leave stains you can't remove. The fix is simple. Patience. Let the engine cool at least an hour, or overnight if you're doing a deep clean. Rushing this step is how people ruin engines without ever realizing why. Mistake number 16. Spraying water directly on the alternator. This is the fastest way to turn a perfectly good alternator into scrap. It looks tough, but those vents you see, they're open pathways straight to the bearings, brushes, and windings. Water doesn't just splash off, it gets pulled inside, and once it's in there, corrosion begins. I've seen alternators fail within 24 hours of a bad wash. The battery light flickers, the car won't hold charge, and suddenly you're stuck replacing a part that didn't need to die. Even if someone says, "I've washed mine and it was fine," that's luck, not protection. Cover the alternator with plastic or foil, clean around it carefully, and you'll keep your charging system alive for years. Mistake number 15. Pressure washing electrical connectors. A pressure washer is one of the worst tools you can use under the hood. Most connectors aren't sealed, and even the weatherproof ones are only splash resistant. Hit them with 1500 psi and water is guaranteed to slip past the seals and sit trapped inside. Then the corrosion begins. Voltage drops, sensors fail, misfires appear, and you spend months chasing electrical gremlins that don't show up on scanners. I've seen entire harnesses destroyed this way, turning a cheap cleaning job into a 4-figure repair. Don't pressure wash connectors, ever. A light mist at a distance is fine. Blasting them is asking for trouble. Mistake number 14. Soaking ignition coils or spark plug tubes. Water inside a spark plug tube is a silent killer. The engine might run fine at first, but as that moisture sits, electricity begins jumping to places it shouldn't. Misfires, rough idle, loss of power, and sometimes the car just refuses to start. Coil on plug engines suffer the worst because there's no distributor to hide the problem. I've pulled coils that looked brand new on top, only to find the bottom soaked in water and corrosion. Some DIY cleaners even pour water directly into the tubes, hoping to flush dirt out. That's a guaranteed repair bill. Keep liquids away from coils and tubes, and if one ever gets wet, dry it thoroughly before starting the engine. Mistake number 12. Ignoring hybrid inverters. If you drive a hybrid, listen closely. The inverter is the brain and heart of your high-voltage system, and while it's sealed against normal operation, it is not built to handle a pressure washer or careless cleaning. A single splash on the wrong spot can trigger warning lights, limp mode, or complete inverter failure, and those repairs can cost more than the car itself. Toyota, Honda, Ford, they all warn against spraying anywhere near the inverter housing. If you must clean around it, wipe it by hand with a slightly damp microfiber. Anything more is gambling with very expensive electronics. Mistake number 12. Spraying water on upward-facing connectors. Look carefully under the hood, and you'll notice connectors shaped like tiny bowls. Aim water at them, and you just filled them like cups. That moisture sinks into the pins, corrodes the metal, and slowly destroys the signal those components rely on. You might not see symptoms immediately, but weeks later you'll deal with random warning lights, rough running, or dead components with no traceable cause. Avoid spraying these connectors directly. Cover them or clean around them with a towel. A few seconds of care saves hours of troubleshooting. Mistake number 10. Using brake cleaner on plastic. Brake cleaner is meant for metal, rotors, calipers, drums, not plastic. On plastic parts, it dries out the material, strips the protective oils, and leaves it brittle. I've seen engine covers turn chalky, hoses swell, and wire insulation crumble after someone blasted everything with brake cleaner. Even if it looks fine at first, weeks later, cracks appear. Use a plastic-safe cleaner or a quality all-purpose engine bay cleaner instead. They cut grime without destroying the material. Mistake number 9. Letting degreasers dry on plastic. Degreasers do their job fast, but letting them sit too long turns them from cleaners to surface killers. They etch plastic, leave stains, and create a rough texture that never goes away. Heat from the engine bay makes this even worse. Residue bakes in and permanently discolors the surface. The right technique is simple. Spray lightly, agitate, then rinse or wipe off before it dries. Quick in, quick out. That's how you keep plastics looking new. Mistake number 8. Ignoring trapped water pockets. The engine bay has hidden pockets where water loves to hide, under harnesses, inside covers, along the firewall, around ignition coils. You look once and think it's dry, but hours later that moisture creeps into connectors or sits long enough to cause corrosion and misfires. I've opened coil covers days later and found standing water. That's when the mystery issues begin. After cleaning, always chase water out with compressed air or a blower. Moisture you can't see is the kind that causes the most expensive problems. Mistake number 7. Using abrasive brushes. Wire brushes and stiff bristles have no place under the hood. They scratch aluminum, tear rubber, and ruin paint. I've seen valve covers covered in swirl marks because someone thought they needed a grill brush to really get the dirt out. Soft detailing brushes and microfibers are all you need. Gentle cleaning keeps surfaces intact and prevents long-term damage. Mistake number 6. Forgetting to disconnect the battery. You can technically clean an engine bay with the battery connected, but why risk it? One accidental splash or metal-on-metal contact can short a fuse or damage sensitive electronics. Disconnecting the negative terminal takes less than a minute and eliminates the danger entirely. Safety first, always. Mistake number 5. Reconnecting the battery while anything is still wet. If you do disconnect the battery, don't rush to reconnect it. Even a small amount of moisture around the terminals can cause arcs or corrosion the moment current flows again. Dry everything thoroughly, posts, case, surrounding area, before tightening that cable back down. Mistake number 4. Spraying directly on AC compressor connectors. These connectors control clutch engagement and compressor communication. They're small, exposed, and very easy to ruin with water pressure. If moisture gets inside, your AC may stop working altogether, and compressor replacements aren't cheap. Cover the connectors or clean the area by hand. Keeping them dry keeps your AC alive. Mistake number 3. Ignoring oil contamination that needs special cleaners. Oil leaks don't wash away with water. If you blast them with a hose, you just smear the oil deeper into crevices where it rots rubber, traps heat, and attracts dirt until it becomes sludge. Worse, oil sitting on plastic or wiring can cook under engine heat and cause cracking. Use petroleum-specific cleaners designed to break down oil safely. Treat oil contamination early because ignoring it turns minor leaks into major repairs. Mistake number 2. Failing to cover sensitive parts before rinsing. Alternators, fuse boxes, relays, intakes, exposed filters, battery terminals. These parts hate water. Leaving them unprotected is basically inviting corrosion or short circuits. It takes 10 seconds to cover them with plastic bags or foil. That tiny extra step prevents extremely expensive repairs. Mistake number 1. Using too much water. This is the big one. Flooding the engine bay with a hose or pressure washer is the fastest way to cause hidden damage. Water seeps into spark plug wells, harnesses, gaskets, sensors, places it was never meant to go. The right method is controlled, gentle, and deliberate. Light mist, targeted rinsing, and letting the cleaner do the hard work. Too much water turns a simple cleaning into a mechanical nightmare. Here's what you do instead. Use microfiber towels and a whiteless wash to lift dirt without soaking anything. Remove plastic engine covers and clean them separately. Use compressed air to blow debris out of tight spots. Cover sensitive components before lightly rinsing and use the right degreaser for oil contamination. Clean regularly so buildup never gets out of hand. Most importantly, remember this: a clean engine is good, but a healthy engine is better. Clean smart, not aggressively. Now that you know what not to do, it's time to learn the habits that make an engine last over 500,000 miles without major repairs. Click below and I'll show you exactly how to make your car outlive everything around it.